Quickie. You can't put Lil Rubin on the Sheriff's Commission. That was McMartin. Do you know I spent several hours with somebody that dealt with those McMartin kids? Do you know what a tragedy that is? This is a proven loser. Your whole Sheriff's Oversight Commission is a loser game. Don't you realize I was an invited partner on the former one by Janako with Dr. Moore? And I'm the one that pushed it by videoing. I have the only videos of both the old and new Oversight Commission meetings. I don't know what you people are doing here, but... And then you put up that other person on the Homeless Commission. Man, you know, I'll tell you what. She's the one that ran from the $2.8 billion Title I suit when my friend's son got assassinated that would murder you haven't solved. So you better start paying attention to you put up on these things here, people.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. I'm Jessica Rutherford-Cordere, and I am past president of the National Association of Women Business Owners statewide for Nauvoo, California. And here to thank you, Chair Kuhl and Supervisor Joe Solis, and all supervisors for supporting our motion, or giving us a motion to support our SB Senate Bill 826. With Senator Hannah Jackson and Tony Atkins and Connie Leyva, which would require all public companies only in the state of California to have at least one woman on their corporate board of directors in the year 2019. And as you may know, but most people are shocked to find out that nationwide and here in California, only 1/4 of the public companies in the state have women on their boards. 1/4 do not. So our goal is to help to move that forward. 5 years ago, we had a resolution in the state Senate and passed by the Assembly encouraging companies to have more women on their corporate boards. Why? Because Credit Suisse and other research studies have shown that when women are on corporate boards, especially when 3 women are on boards, that companies perform better, are more productive, and treat the workforce also very well. So the importance of this is that when companies perform better, the stockholders, the shareholders, and the public are better served by those companies, and the retirees of the county and state whose life savings are invested in companies also perform better. Several, as you may have heard, institutional investors have made statements that they would not invest in companies any longer that don't have women on corporate boards. So we thank you for your support.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Next speaker, please.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair and Board. Thank you for bringing this matter forward as a body that shows progression and advancement for all. Your board has demonstrated commitment to inclusion, and I appreciate and thank you for that. I am president of the National Association of Women Business Owners Los Angeles chapter, and we represent the voice of more than 544,000 women business owners in the greater LA area. Nauvoo LA sees this as a business issue, and we appreciate consideration for the support. Nauvoo LA is in alignment with the other 10 chapters throughout the state that represent Nauvoo, California. As Betsy mentioned, there is only 12% of women on public boards in the county. Nauvoo LA has women business owners who are capable, who are qualified, and willing to serve as directors on these boards to the success of these public companies. Our women business owners range from the small business entrepreneur or solo entrepreneur to the multi-million-dollar women business owner. So we definitely have the women that are ready, willing, and able to serve on the boards. And lastly, I would ask that because many of you on this body are also on the board of Metro, and with Metro's also current commitment of conclusion and a diverse executive level with more than 40% of women on their executive board, we do ask and appreciate consideration of carrying this conscious and purposeful support forward at Metro. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Hi, my name is Victor Trujillo. Under the law AB 1909, I say it constantly because it's just something that you cannot hope and you will not hope that somebody will lie. But I'm going to talk about 1D. I think it's great that they're doing a runoff. I'm going to talk about D. D's talking about the Civil Oversight Committee, and basically I spent about 5-6 years, trying to communicate with, even call and go to their addresses. No one has ever got back with me. I wanted to find out how they're running the jail, how things are running in the system. Basically, nobody. If they're basically running this program, they're going to hire people to do something. I would like to know because, when I was in jail, it was covered up, my attack, and it was covered up by the Civil Oversight Committee, and it was done by Mike Congress. And I actually emailed them, and I called them 60 times before I was gunned down, beat up in jail. So that's why I was hitting. That's another thing. Now we're going to go to another topic. We're looking at basically the part where you guys basically are offering money for number 14. That's great. I think that's great you guys are offering, but you know what? I came up with a solution. I found out about somebody got murdered. I went down to the Van Nuys courthouse and talked to one of the Detective Martinez. He told me he couldn't open up the case. There was not given no rewards. It wouldn't solve murder. The guy emptied his gravesite. They did so much, but nobody in the county. I would hope somebody in the county would help me out here. That way we can find out about this American guy that got massacred at the Van Nuys courthouse, and this attorney knew about it. So it's very interesting because he's a Jewish guy that I know very well, and he was behind a lot of these little crimes. It'd be nice to hear someone speak about it. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Yes, good morning, Dr. Samir Kapal. I am going to speak mainly on item number 8. Every time the Commission on HIV come up with name of commissioner, I get upset. And today, I cannot believe it, but they are nominated 15 commissioners, and they waive, as usual, lack of service requirement. It's very sad that in a country of 10 million people, we can find only 14 people to be in the HIV and AIDS Commission, and especially waive the lack of service. I have been trying since this morning to obtain a copy of the CV of those 15 individuals. I have not been able to obtain it yet. The item having to do with commission cannot be downloaded ever from the website. That's the only thing we cannot be downloaded. And when you want copy, you have to ask somebody who appears to do it for you. And this morning, a few minutes ago, I was told, well, Francisco might be able to give me those topics, but it's not true. And if he does not, I will have to go downstairs and get it for myself. I don't ask for many things to be copied. But why cannot the public obtain the information having to do with commissioner? And I have never seen, and I've been coming here almost 20 years, I have never seen 15 commissioners been approved, especially if they are from no recommendation to any of the supervisors. Those are a rogue HIV commission who consistently appoint their commissioners. But not to allow the public to get copy of those are very, very sad. And I'm not saying those people are not qualified. I am complaining of the way it's done. I think it's not transparent and it stinks, And in the future, I don't think you should have put 15 people like that, especially not providing any of the information on those individuals. And actually not any of you specifically appointing them. So That's worrisome, especially when they deal millions of dollars on federal money. That's what upset me. So anyway, have a good day.
Thank you. That concludes those who signed up to speak on items on the agenda. Please, Madam Executive Officer, tell us the numbers of the items upon which we're about to vote.
The items before you are items 1D, 8, 10. Supervisor Barger abstains from the vote, and item 20.
Moved by Supervisor Solis, seconded by Supervisor Ridley Thomas. Any objection to a unanimous vote? Seeing none, that will be the action. I don't believe there have been any requests for special items. So let us move then to public comment. Please call those persons who have signed up for public comment.
Would the following individuals please come forward when you hear your name? Amador Cuevas, Frank Langston, George Bassetti, Julie St. John, LaWanda Hawkins, Najia Lee, Robert Green, and Victor Trujillo. Please come forward and staff will assist you.
Fill it up, huh? Premium.
Thank you, Madam Chair, distinguished board members. My name is Najee Ali, Director of Project Islamic Hope, a civil rights group, also a member of Justice for Women and Children. Today, on behalf of the Coalition of Concerned Parents and Community Groups, we're calling for the LA County Board of Supervisors to demand the resignation of Department and Children Defendant Services Director Bobby Cagle. The LA County social workers on the case allow Anthony Avalos, the 10-year-old Lancaster boy, to remain in the custody of Anthony's mother and her boyfriend. They have both been charged in Anthony's murder. The DA's office filed court papers alleging that Avalos suffered for at least 5 days of sustained torture, which ended in his death. Documents from the LA County Board of Children and Services allege that since 2013, the agency had investigated 88 claims of child abuse at this child's home and found that 15 of those claims were substantiated. The claims included Anthony and his 6 siblings, and at least 2 of the substantiated claims involved sexual abuse. Social workers failed to remove Avalos from his mother's home despite years of documented abuse. The DA's office has said that Anthony's mother and her boyfriend poured hot sauce on Anthony's face and mouth with the cord, held him upside down, and dropped him on his head repeatedly. Prosecutors also say the couple withheld food and slammed him into furniture. Bobby Cagle and all his social workers who were involved in this case had the blood of Anthony Avalos on their hands. How many more children have to die in this dysfunctional and broken system? Cagle to this day has not allowed, Cagle to this day and all his social workers haven't even had the dignity to even be placed on leave. These social workers are responsible for Avalos' murder. So we want the board to take action.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, please.
You bet,
My name is
Najee.
LaWanda Hawkins. I'm with Justice for Murdered Children. It breaks my heart to come down here to talk about another kid that's been murdered due to the lack of DCFS taking proper steps. I remember coming down here for Gabriel in 2013. 8-year-old kid killed in Palmdale. They had reported to DCFS too, same problem. Nothing was done. 10-year-old Anthony, same thing, 88 times reported. Now he's dead. I hate to ask you all this, how many more kids that I just don't know about have died after people have reported to DCFS about abuse? Do you have a record of that? Can anybody tell us how many children have died after reports, over 13 to 20 reports to DCFS of abuse, and nothing was done? I'm here to state today and to ask for somebody from DCFS got to be held accountable for this kid murder. And how many more are we going to allow to happen on our shift? I know, right here, Mark Ridley Thomas, I know you're a father. I'm assuming some of you all are mamas. This is unacceptable. This is in our families and we're allowing this to go down. And we ain't heard nothing from the Board of Supervisors about this. How many more kids? Do you all have a tracker? How many kids have been killed under DCFS after there have been reports of abuse in the home where they were? And that's my question. I want to know if there's a report, and if so, I want to see it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker.
Wow.
My name is Salvador Cuevas, and as you know me already, I have been tried to help by you several times. Most of the people that I have encountered and talked to, they always tell me, I get a lawyer, get another lawyer, we're going to help you, we're going to do nothing for you, and I don't know what I came for over here if I don't get the help I need. But I've been trying. I'm going to try. See, I have a little card over here that they told me, go to the real estate fraud. The people that is in charge of that, because they took over they didn't take over, but they legalized the fraud. I don't know if you understand what that means, but I know because I'm suffering it. So they took away legally my property, but they cannot go and get it. Why? Because it's a fraud. So I need, please, try to get me in touch with them. I've been in the United States for 60 years. I've been working hard. I was a tailor when I came over here. So I made clothing for a lot of those very, very, very important people. So I make for all the Bonanza guys, for Elvis Presley, Robert Taylor. I made clothing for Ronald Reagan when he was a cowboy. So I've been working hard, and that's the only thing I have to feed my family. So this is a fraud, and I have all the evidences, but my lawyers have all done to show the evidences. They deny for me to show the evidences. It's been two judgments, one for $2.8 million and this one for $3.2 million. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Well, I guess I'm next. All we're hearing up here is ongoing fraud, duplicity, Najee. I'm as sick of that as you are, and I got them by the you-know-what, by their budget, okay, bud? Why don't we sit down and I'll show you how this sick game really works, and how they use money. It's all driven by money and budget and power. You see these people? I gave you a chance. The feds are now in on you, so you touch me and you let that judge touch me tomorrow, you got maybe life in prison, huh? You see this? Dennis Schmidt, penalty of perjury. Bruce Koenig, FBI, perjury. Catalin Gregorius, Jeff Smith, perjury in my case. Former FBI saying there's no such thing as electronic voice analysis when they made their whole career off of it. Now to the homeless and the people in your mental health system. You see this? These are complaints I wrote for people in there who couldn't do it themselves, including a trans guy, called himself Amy, had an inoperable 1/2 inch tumor in his frontal lobe. It took me 4 hours while he's in pain to get this out of him, and then they get mad at me because I figured out and I know how to have it operated on, and the next day he's taken out for medical help. When are you going to help these people like these little kids? And yet you torture me. You tortured Victor, you torture his uncle. You're torturing these children with these incompetent people. You keep paying all this money, and I got your budget busted big time.
Thank you very much.
I don't think you thank me because you're going to be dealing with the feds now.
Thank you.
So you injure me,
Next speaker.
That's life.
Excuse me, I wanted to help the topic. Can you do it? All right, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Rubin. I don't know that anybody can deny it. Everyone says that, well, there's a lack of good laws on hard-earned money to 30 years to get my taxes in. For what? For Los Angeles County Council or Church's Department. Say, I gave you week, and this is, say that I will not, I'm taking my money. And what? They took my son, when he was 12 years old, they charged him as he was 14 years old, and put him in your system and blocked him as his wife, and then let him go home. They didn't give me services, they just said, goodbye. I mean, this is not right. I'm a good mother, and I don't deserve my children, don't deserve my younger children, none of them. And I want this taken care of, and I tried to get help, and nobody will help me. And I'm not even about getting help. This is not right. I get treated like I'm low life, like I don't even do anything for anything, and I do. I'm taking care of my kids, and I'm not going to let them take my money anymore. Los Angeles County Council for Services. I want my money, and I want my check. I have all the documentation to show up, and I've tried. There's numerous people, and nobody helps me. And I want my money.
Ma'am, do you know what district who's your, do you know who your supervisor is? Or where do you live?
I live in Lakeview Terrace.
Okay, so I think that would be Supervisor Barker's district. She'll ask one of her staff to meet with you in the front.
Great.
If that's okay. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like you to stop there.
Okay,
Uh,
next speaker,
hi.
please.
Hi, my name is Victor Trujillo, under AB 1909. I just heard someone talk about Lancaster with kids. I found out how they were doing it in this county, how the county's putting this together. It's all done by CIs. Basically, we need to stop playing games and protecting county employees. We need to start listening to the public. If we have some insight, please, don't deny us. I'm legally deaf. I have hearing aids. I literally try to talk to them. No. I've seen what you guys done. I've seen what the court's done. And I'm sitting here watching, I'm like, why are you guys hiding by these unions and these lawyers? Well, under AB 1909, if anybody wants to protect a criminal, guess what?
Oh, my
You
God.
have to be
We'll be there with
prosecuted.
you.
Just like a prosecutor in Seal Beach, she lost her rights. They actually were to take her license away because of this malicious way of lying to the public, misleading public and families. Please, help, listen. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to go to Lancaster for a speaker, and please call the final speaker here so they can come up and take a seat.
Would Lawrence Dickerson please come forward and staff will assist you?
Oh, thank you.
All right, going to Lancaster. Welcome.
I am really disappointed in the West Valley County Water District because they're sending me bills overdue, and they say they're late, but they're on time, and I've been slandered, and they're discriminating against me in the meetings, and they don't talk to us or nothing. And then I had the sheriff about it, and he don't do nothing. I went to the district attorney, I can't get in to see the district attorney, and here's a thing that he sent out on December the 26th, canceling the meeting. Who gave Mark L. Crosby the right to cancel a meeting? And I'm so fed up with the area, and the lake went dry, and we're supposed to have a lake there till 2037. And I put an agenda on the list, and there's these stop signs. It wasn't visible to read for 2 years, and I gave him this agenda on April the 2017, and he goes out and fixes them on April the 24th for putting new signs up. And it took him over 2 years to fix the signs. And he ain't